Assalamu alaikum. This is Swarup Mazumder welcoming you to the English News Bulletin from Bangladesh Television, Chattogram Center. Let's begin with the headlines. Ramadan, one of the holiest months for Muslims, begins with blessings from Almighty Allah. "95% work of putting the container terminal of Chattogram port completed. It will help handle 450,000 used containers per year." Mirza Fakhrul and others talk about freedom of speech, whereas they have no rights to express opinions in BNP's internal politics, comments Ubaidul Qadir. Vegetables prices have not changed much due to uninterrupted supply, while variety of summer vegetables seen in market on the first day of Ramadan. And Syria and Saudi Arabia agreed to reopen their embassies after cutting diplomatic ties more than a decade ago. Those were the headlines, now on to the details. Today is the first day of Holy Ramadan. This month appears to the Muslims across the world with blessings from Almighty Allah. Ramadan is the Arabic name for the 9th month of the Islamic calendar. It is considered one of the holiest months for the Muslims, marked by fasting. Muslims across the world, including in Bangladesh, welcome the holy month, hoping blessings from Allah for welfare and emancipation of sin. Devotees like to pass most of the time of the day and night during Ramadan through prayers. The holy Laylatul Qadr falls in this month, opening doors for blessings from Almighty Allah. Islamic scholars say the holy Ramadan teaches the Muslim Ummah to refrain from all kinds of excessive practices, including consumption of food. The port city of Chattogram is renowned for its different iftar items. Like every other year, iftar items are being sold at different hotels, restaurants and makeshift shops. Hotels and restaurants are also offering delicious iftar items for the people. Cities' restaurants are seen crowded with people at the first day of Ramadan. Besides, roadside makeshift shops are also crowded with people. These shops are also offering variety of iftar items at low cost. The construction work of the Pottinger Container Terminal PCT of the Chattogram port is now at the last stage. The terminal is being constructed at a cost of 1,230 crore taka. Authorities said the project has so far marked 95% work progress, and the rest will come to an end in the middle of the current year. As many as 3 ships will be able to upload and offload containers at the PCT at a time. In addition, ships carrying oil will also be able to anchor at the terminal. This terminal will help handle 450,000 used containers per year. However, the shipping ministry is yet to fix the operational organization. Users of the port have stressed the need for opening the Pottinger Container Terminal as early as possible. According to the State Minister for Shipping, Pottinger Container Terminal will go into operation on time. Awami League General Secretary and Road Transport and Bridges Minister Ubaidul Qadir said Mirza Fakhrul and others have no rights to express their opinions in BNP's internal politics, whereas they talk about freedom of speech. He said this in a statement sent to the mass media today in response to false and misleading speeches of Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir. Ubaidul Qadir said Mirza Fakhrul and others have to comply with the directives coming from London without any opposition. BNP runs as per prescriptions of a sentenced fugitive, he added. Ubaidul Qadir went on to say that BNP never believes in freedom of speech, but the Awami League struggled for it since its inception. The government of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has been promoting freedom of speech by opening doors for the mass media, he added. Variety of summer vegetables are seen in the market on the first day of Ramadan. Even though winter season is over, winter vegetables are still available in the market. Prices of vegetables have not changed much over the week due to uninterrupted supply. In the raw market, per kg okra is being sold at 100 taka, while bitter melon at 70 taka, cucumbers at 50 taka, carrots and cabbage at 20 taka, chilies at 60 taka, and tomatoes and potatoes at 20 taka. However, the price of fish and meat has increased slightly. Broiler chicken is being sold at 240 taka per kg, and golden chicken is being sold at 380 taka per kg. Besides, beef is being sold at 750 taka per kg. Vendors said the presence of buyers in the meat market is less than usual. During Ramadan, many unscrupulous traders increased the price of products to earn more profit. Customers demanded to increase the market monitoring more. Now, international news. Syria and Saudi Arabia have agreed to reopen their embassies after cutting diplomatic ties more than a decade ago. The step will mark a leap forward in returning of Damascus to the Arab fold. Contacts between Riyadh and Damascus had gathered momentum following a landmark agreement to re-establish ties between Saudi Arabia and Iran, a key ally of President Bashar al-Assad. The re-establishment of ties between Riyadh and Damascus will mark the most significant development yet in moves by Arab states to normalize ties with Assad. Assad was shunned by many Western and Arab states after Syria's civil war began in 2011. News agencies said the decision was the result of talks in Saudi Arabia with a senior Syrian intelligence official. Hungary said it will not arrest Russian President Vladimir Putin if he enters the country, despite the International Criminal Court (ICC) issuing an arrest warrant for him last week. ICC accused Putin of illegally deporting hundreds of children from Ukraine. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban's chief of staff, György Gulyas, said on Thursday that even though Hungary is a signatory to the Rome Statute, the treaty that created the ICC and rectified it in 2001, arresting Putin would have no basis in Hungarian law. Orban and his government have always been by far the closest ally of the Kremlin within the European bloc. After Putin ordered Russian troops to invade Ukraine last year, Orban was the most reluctant European Union leader to impose sanctions on Russia. Hungary is also a NATO member and has voiced objections to Western nations sending arms to Ukraine. Israeli forces killed a Palestinian during a raid in the occupied West Bank on the first day of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. The Palestinian Health Ministry said 25-year-old Amir Abu Khadija was shot in the head in the city of Tulkarem on Thursday. Large crowds took to the streets to protest his killing when his body reached the hospital. A statement from the Israeli border police said its undercover unit was involved in a raid in the early hours of Thursday to arrest a Palestinian man it suspected of involvement in several shooting attacks. The Tulkarem Brigade is one of several new armed groups to emerge in the West Bank over the past year. It said Abu Khadija was one of its founders and described the killing as an assassination. Murad Drobi, an activist from the Palestinian Fatah movement, told that Israeli forces stormed Shufa, an area in Tulkarem, and closed off its main entrance to vehicles and residents before surrounding the house where Abu Khadija was hiding. Now, weather news. Partly cloudy sky with temporary overcast weather may remain over the area of Chattogram. Pothinga Matvi says day and night temperature may rise slightly over the area. The highest temperature in the city today was 30 degrees Celsius, which is 0.6 degrees Celsius below the normal temperature, and the lowest temperature was 20 degrees Celsius, which is 0.3 degrees Celsius below the normal temperature. In Chattogram, tomorrow the sun will rise at 5:53 a.m. and will set at 6:05 p.m. And tomorrow the end of Sahari will be at 4:34 a.m. and iftar time at 6:09 p.m. Now the tide schedule of Konifulu River tomorrow. First low tide will start at 2:54 a.m. First high tide will start at 9:30 a.m. Second low tide will start at 3:12 p.m. and second high tide will start at 9:56 p.m. That's all from the newsroom. To end the bulletin, a recap of the headlines. Ramadan, one of the holiest months for Muslims, begins with blessings from Almighty Allah. "95% work of Potanga Container Terminal of Chattogram Port completed. It will help handle 450,000 used containers per year." Mirza Fakhrul and others talk about freedom of speech, whereas they have no rights to express opinions in BNP's internal politics, comments Ubaidul Qadir. Vegetables prices have not changed much due to uninterrupted supply, while variety of summer vegetables seen in markets on the first day of Ramadan. And Syria and Saudi Arabia agreed to reopen their embassies after cutting diplomatic ties more than a decade ago. Thanks to all for being with us. We invite you to watch our tomorrow's bulletin at the same time. Maintain the health rules and stay safe. Khuda Hafiz.